Today I'm going to show you how to make Kentucky Common. It's one of my favorite beers to make. It's super easy to drink. Everyone loves it, even if they've never heard of it before. I actually started making it because I wanted to enter a historical beer into a competition. And, it just became one of, my favorite beers from that point. And I had never had one before, didn't know what it was going to taste like at all. It was just kind of a whim that I was doing it, and it actually just won a silver medal in the 32nd annual Southern California Regional Homebrew Competition. So it's good. Yeah, it's great for summer, but it's got a little caramel malt, a darker malt, amber color, so it's also going to be great for winter if you just need to be drinking all day because your family's around. So let's get to it. Malt bill is 7.5 pounds of 2-row, 3 ounces of Carafa 3. This is the dehusked, basically black malt or whatever. So it doesn't have as much astringency as a typical dark malt because the husks are where you get all that astringent black tea kind of flavor. So this is great. It makes really smooth beers. I use this for my black IPA as well. That's why I have such a big bag. And then we're also going to use 2 ounces of Caramel 60. I use Caramel 60 in everything because I love it. And it gives it a really nice, kind of like a sweeter, malty flavor. So it's great. And the rest of our, fermentable bill is actually corn grits. So I use quick grits that I get at the grocery store, just Quaker brand, whatever. And it gets 2.5 pounds of that, but I'll show you guys that when I actually mash it, because you can just throw it straight from the box into the kettle. Easy. All right, let's do this. I'm really behind. It's already past noon. It's already 12:02. So I'm not going to be done until dinner time, unfortunately, but my homebrew store opens at 11. So let's get started. For water in this, I'm using RO water. It's a really simple beer, so I don't want to risk having a lot of stuff in it that's not to the style. I'll use my salt additions to kind of get it up to where I want it, but I wanted to start with a clean slate for this one. And I'm doing a full water mash with this, so I'm putting 7 gallons into my kettle now for the mash. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my system. And I'm gonna set my temperature at, I'm gonna set it at, let's say 155. So I'm gonna set my strike water at 155 and turn on my pump to help circulate the water, get the heat flowing better. Because I'm using RO water, I'm doing salt additions. So I've got my gypsum, calcium chloride, Epsom salt, and some lactic acid. I'm using lactic acid because this is an adjunct beer, so I'm not going to have as much acidity coming from the malt as I typically would. And I'm also doing a full water mash, so basically all the acidity is going to be spread out among the RO water, which is around 7.5 pH. So I want my mash pH to be between 5.2 and 5.5, so this is going to get me there. So I'm using 1.5 milliliters of lactic acid. I'm using 4.4 grams of calcium chloride, 7.6 grams of gypsum, and 4.6 grams of Epsom salt. So we're almost at our strike temperature. We're at 128 right now. I should have added my additions a little bit earlier, but it'll be fine. So I'm gonna turn off my pump, throw these guys in. All right. And I'm gonna throw in my screen now too, just to get ready for my mash. All right, time to mash in. So the cool part about this mash is we're using corn grits. I use instant grits. You don't have to do anything to them, but throw them in, right in the mash. I hate grits, even though I'm from the South, so I can find no better way to use them than to throw them in beer and never eat them. So I'm just gonna turn my heat down to 152. This is a pretty medium fermentable temperature. It looks like my temp didn't drop a ton because there's so much water in here compared to how much malt's in here. So I might be a little low on enzymes, but it usually works out pretty well. I'm gonna take a quick pH reading and a temperature reading with my meat thermometer just to make sure the mash is actually like what the liquid under it is, because like the mash basically stops here and this is the temperature probe, so you're just reading the temperature below it. So just want to double check. So 1.5 milliliters of lactic acid was a bit much. I'm just gonna sprinkle in some baking soda until I hit my pH that I want. I just do it until it works. Basically, baking soda works really well, so be a little modest about how much you add if you're adjusting your mash pH. I may have overdone it, of course, but let's see if I can stir it in and get it to be what I would need. All right, so we're at 5.5 now. That's great for me. And our mash temp inside the actual grain is, it's about 150.5. So I'm actually gonna turn this up to 153, just so it'll raise it a little bit. But I'm fine with 150 really. It's still pretty medium fermentable. As long as it's not under 150, I'm usually cool with it. And I'm gonna set a timer for 45 minutes for this one. There's not a ton of grain to convert, but I'm gonna check my specific gravity around 45 and see if we're all good. Okay, my timer is about to go off in like 20 seconds. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my pre-boil gravity reading. And there's my alarm. Gonna mix this guy up a bit, make sure everything's consistent. And take a quick gravity with my refractometer. So it looks like it is 10.5 bricks, which means it's 1.044 for my pre-boil gravity. My goal was 1.045, so I'm cool with that. And I'm just gonna pull my screen. So I'm just gonna let that drain while it heats up to boiling. That's it. So this will probably take a few minutes to heat up to boiling, and then we can start our additions. So this beer is pretty malt forward, not like an IPA at all. So we're doing very few hop additions. Our hops for bittering are Northern Brewer, and that's only half an ounce at 60 minutes. And then for aroma, we're doing 1.5 ounces of Saaz at 5 minutes. And then I'm gonna put in my wort to precipitate the haze and my yeast nutrient. I'm just gonna put my yeast nutrient and my wort in at 5, even though it's supposed to be 10, but whatever. Okay, so we're boiling. So I'm going to do my first hop addition, which is the Northern Brewer, half an ounce, and that's just for our bittering. And I'm gonna set a timer for 55 minutes, and then that will be our last addition of hops. A very simple recipe, so it'll be pretty easy. All right, so it's been more than 55 minutes because I have a peanut gallery. All right, I'm actually doing it. Shut up. Okay, so it's been 55 minutes, so I'm doing my 5-minute addition, and I've got my wort, my yeast nutrient, and my 1.5 ounces of Saaz hops. And setting my timer for 5 whole minutes before we start chilling. Okay, so my hour's up. I'm turning off the heat and I'm going to start chilling. I've got my wort chiller here. I actually started using a clamp on it because I've had it fall over. They're a little heavy with all the tubing. My tubing's going to my faucet and it just can't stand up, right? I'm gonna fucking murder you.
Leave it in. Keep that in there.
Anyway, rude. So I'm going to start my pump, start running my tap water, and chill it. Okay, so we're down to about 69 degrees, so I'm comfortable pitching yeast at this temperature. I have my San Francisco lager and American ale ready to go. I'm going to transfer into my SS Brewtech from my chiller, basically. And yeah, let's do it. So I'm just taking my hose from my chiller and dropping it right into the fermenter. So while we're waiting for it to drain, I'm going to go ahead and take my original gravity. You always got to make sure to sanitize everything, like that you're sticking in the kettle once it's, you know, cold. So it looks like my original gravity is 11.7 bricks, and I'm about 5.5 gallon. Maybe I'm just about 5 gallons actually. This recipe was supposed to be for 5.5 gallons, but it looks like I'm probably only going to get about 5 out of it, so hopefully my original gravity is actually correct, though. So yeah, I'm a little above 5 gallons. I'm at 11.7 still. I'm actually just gonna pitch my yeast real quick. Yeast for this beer is kind of interesting. So I actually use a combination of yeasts. I use some San Francisco lager yeast. I believe it's by Wyeast. And I also use a Wyeast smack pack of American ale yeast. I just had this San Francisco yeast left over, so this is me saving from a previous batch. And then I went out and grabbed a fresh smack pack of American ale yeast. This is probably going to be about equal, and it gives you a really clean fermentation profile with an ale yeast and a lager yeast in combination. And we're going to ferment it at about 65 degrees, give or take a few degrees, and it turns out really clean, very clear, super attenuated. Just basically all you're tasting is the malt in this beer and a little bit of the corn, but not a ton. So, you know, always sanitize the outside of packaging of your yeast. This is what a smack pack looks like when it's totally like fermented and everything's all good. Shake it before you open it so you can get everything, you know, suspended. Alright, so therein goes my American ale yeast, and I'm going to pitch my San Francisco lager. And now I'm just going to throw the lid back on with well, I'm going to sanitize my lid. Always sanitize everything you have that is cold. Nothing's going to kill it once it's cold. So you are running the risk of contaminating everything if you don't sanitize. Please sanitize everything. And I'm going to add some more sanitizer to my airlock. And I'm just going to do it the easy way. Alright, so we are good to go. Nothing's going to get in there. And I'm going to just go ahead and let this ferment. This beer is supposed to be like a 3-day and done beer. It's actually really cool. It ferments super fast. It's like beer to glass in a week, max. So, hopefully by, I don't know, couple weeks, I'm going to be drinking this, and it'll probably be gone in less than 3 weeks, honestly. Alright, so I'm going to go through this in the brewery.